Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Tyree from On the Hot Podcast. Today, I have some bonus content for you guys. The bonus content we'll be covering today will be in the sport of football inside the college football world. In today's bonus segment, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the college football playoffs expanding this upcoming college football season. So, the new format is now in play. This year for college football, we will see the playoffs expanded from a format of 4 teams to a format of 12 teams that will be happening and set into effect this upcoming year in college football. So I'll be sharing my thoughts on the new format. Now, me personally, I do like the 12-team format that will be happening in college football this upcoming college football season. I believe it's going to be more interesting to see 12 teams instead of 4 teams in the college football playoffs. It gives us more rounds. It gives us more excitement, more entertainment, and fingers crossed for more competitive games and possibly some upsets in the college football playoffs. Now that we're seeing 12 teams instead of 4 teams being added to the mix for the college football playoffs. And I think this takes the pressure off of a lot of teams that are scratching and clawing to get that fourth and final spot in previous years for the college football playoffs. And there have been some teams that have gotten the cold shoulder trying to get that fourth and final spot. The committee has been pretty hard. An example of this last year when the Georgia Bulldogs were the back-to-back reigning defending national champions in college football. They were undefeated for nearly 3 years in a row. They lost that SEC championship game to Alabama and got the cold shoulder by the committee. They gave Alabama the rub, and Georgia was out and had to play against Florida State in the Peach Bowl, and they dominated them, putting up 60-plus points against Florida State. So I think that's just a key example of why I do believe this is going to be good and beneficial to have 12 teams instead of 4 teams. Plus, the college football playoffs will still provide the big-time bowl games of the Fiesta Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, you name it. Those are going to be a part of the college football playoffs. So the most prestigious, important bowl games will be a part of the college football playoffs. I think that's going to be important because we're going to have more than just 2 rounds to get to the college football championship. It's going to be a lot more rounds, a lot more exciting, fun, and hopefully this is a better format for the better instead of the worse for college football moving forward. Now, this also gives the opportunity for a lot of conference teams to make the playoffs. There's 12 slots. And there's a lot of conferences in college football. It could be, I don't know how this is going to play out, but it could be a similar situation to the NFL, depending on the records. It could be a similar situation to the NFL, how if you win your division in the National Football League, you are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. I'm not saying that will happen for college football, but depending on, say for instance, if I'm in the ACC and Miami goes undefeated, they automatically get a playoff spot. Or I'm somebody in the Big Ten, or you guys know what I'm saying. I could see a scenario like that the conference winners automatically get a playoff spot, but we'll see. I think the best 12 teams should be added to the format now. And I also think this gets away from the storyline of having a Cinderella team, where in past years you have teams like TCU, who was a Cinderella team but got to the playoffs, got to the college football championship just for winning 1 playoff game, and etc. You guys get what I'm saying? The smaller conference teams get the 4th seed, but sometimes get blown out by the number 1 seed, as we've seen in years past. So I think this is going to be for the better. I hope that this is going to be something that the committee doesn't regret, because I think this is going to stand the test of time for some years in college football. And I'm just thinking of a scenario in my head, off the top of my head, some teams that are in the top 25. You could possibly have the playoffs this year that features Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon, Miami, Michigan. The list goes on and on of potential team, the 12 potential teams that we could be in store to watch in a college football format, with this new format being in play for this upcoming college football season. So I'm looking forward to the season, but I think towards the end, especially in the conference championship games, it makes it even more important to have an impressive outing, win or lose, for the committee for whatever program that needs to get into the playoffs, a top 12 spot for the college football playoffs. So hopefully this is for the better. That is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.